The executives running the federal agencies have really taken the point of view that they don't care what device your supervisor is providing, or in fact you're going to bring in your own device. It's not about the platform. In fact, I've heard a number of them say that today at this event. It's not about the platform. It's about the application getting the job done. And if that means that people can bring in a myriad of different devices, then so be it. So that is interesting. I don't believe that notion is not without issue. And the issue is probably maintaining those devices on the network and making sure that all of those devices that you're letting in the network are in fact secure. So that's really the biggest thing. And now with Windows 8 comes an awful lot of Windows 8 based tablets from every manufacturer that currently makes PCs, laptops, and Ultrabooks. So there is a lot of choice. A year ago, it was the iPad, which was and is a consumer device that's been stretched and pulled very successfully, I would say, to do a lot more than its original intent. But the iPad isn't a multitasking device. When you ask it to do a second thing, it stops doing the first thing. Whereas the Windows-based tablets, like your PC, are true multitasking, so they can do multiple things at once. And I think that's going to open up a lot of innovation. Our own Waleed Ali was demonstrating a healthcare app earlier that can do multiple things at once, which, as I say, which the other product cannot. So yeah, choice, security, and form factor. The term sandbox has come up a lot. We'll just put it in a secure sandbox. I have a feeling from some of the meetings I've had that people are now starting to question this idea of, well, if I just put everything inside a sandbox, it doesn't matter what device I'm using. It's good. Well, I guess the question is now coming out, how secure is the sandbox? Because if everything is in a sandbox, surely that's the next target for foreign governments who would hack our secrets. I wonder, or I ponder, how long it's going to be before somebody works out a novel and innovative attack on a sandbox that's currently being used by, Federal Agency X. The threat level to federal agencies is constantly rising. While we've been sat here talking, a range of foreign IP addresses have been trying to get in the Department of the Interior or something like that. Now, the Department of the Interior doesn't do anything spectacularly secret. They look after the cherry trees in the park, as an example. So why would a group try and get in? Well, it's what that network is connected to. Can I get upstream? Can I get to a more interesting agency? And of course, there are many, many more interesting agencies. And you build a lock, and there will be somebody who can crack it. And unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast for huge, complex networks. There's always a door left open. There's always an exploit. And there's kind of a cat and mouse game going on a global scale at the moment to protect commercial secrets and government secrets from those who would seek out to find those exploits. And there is something of a race. The last time I saw the figure of known exploits, it's just telephone numbers now. Most governments are running Windows, and for some reason there are a number of federal agencies, I won't shame any here, but are still running XP. I cannot remember how long ago it was that I stopped running XP. we now have Windows 8, which is a very clean, very fast, slick interface that has the same look and feel on the tablet as well as the desktop. It's this year's BMW. Why would you still be driving a 7-year-old BMW when there's a much more efficient model out there? I know the reason, and it's not cost, it's just the lift. Oh, it's a lift. Well, there comes a point where you're pushed into the corner and you can't get support anymore, and this doesn't work and that doesn't work, and you've got the latest processors, but the processor can't make full use of the operating system because the operating system is so old. And I find it strange that some agencies are really up there, and some agencies, in the same way that they were keeping old server systems running heavy iron, they would just keep patching them, the sticking plaster approach, because the lift of going to something like something based on IA is just too much. It's just too much like hard work, and I think if you don't take the bull by the horns, you leave yourself wide open to again to exploits and inefficient IT systems.